Hi everyone, Pete and Grada here, and it's so good to see you after another week, and I hope you've enjoyed the beautiful weather.
Hi everyone.
Especially in Tasmania today, we had a real summer's day. Today Pete and I want to talk to you about digestion, because many people have digestive issues and it affects a lot of different parts of your life and your relationship. It can seep into your relationship and even into your finances. And it all comes back to the gut. So what many people don't realize is that your gut, that is your small and large intestine, if you stretch it out and iron it out, if you cut your iron and iron all the kinks out of your bowels or your gut, it would be the surface area of a tennis court. That's how huge it is.
Could play tennis on it.
That's right. So it's absolutely massive. So you can imagine a lot can go wrong in that area. And I did a little bit of research, which I'll put in the comments below. But so it says approximately 1 in 250 people between age 5 to 40 has some sort of bowel disease, inflammatory bowel disease, or IBS. And then to make matters worse, 75% of Australians have Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis.
75,000.
Sorry, I can't remember. 75,000. And it's always increasing, so the numbers are not going down, they're going up. And I'll let Peter take over in a minute, but I'll just give you the broad brush strokes of the painting so you get an idea. So many people also suffer with bloating, with burping, with gas, with tummy aches. They put up with tummy aches every day. They have diarrhea, they have reflux. And these are just some of the minor things, but then there are like thousands of people who suffer really, really badly. And so before I hand over to Peter, Peter does really, really in-depth testing. We call that the biomedics, or a complete health analysis, and we learned this in Chicago in 2009, and Peter has changed the lives around of absolutely thousands of clients with bowel problems or digestive issues. But before we go there, we'll finish with that, but I just wanted to say it because Pete doesn't like he's very modest, but he's changed literally the lives of thousands of people, and I want you to know that the testing he does, nobody else in Australia does that as far as I know, and it gets to the bottom of which part of your body are working or not, and which part of your digestion needs to be overworked or overreacting, what needs toning down, what needs support.
And we went to Chicago initially
in 2009
after Grada had been hit by a truck and left for dead and had massive injuries and had to work her way back to health. So we were looking for things
I had to have a colostomy bag
to get her health back as quickly as possible. And so we decided to head to Chicago and learn this amazing system of metabolic testing, and that's one of the things that has got Grada back to 100% health. It is amazing, and I have helped thousands of people get back to really good health. But back to the gut health. Gut health is one of the main issues for all our health, because if we can eat the best diet around, but if we aren't digesting it properly or aren't assimilating it properly, we're still not getting the things from the food we eat, and that's what our cells need. We have almost it's 80% of the body is replaced in about 6 months.
What? So, that's amazing.
So you're
only 6 months old.
Yeah, we need lots of nutrients to supply the ingredients for new cells, and if our gut's not working properly, we're not getting them. So lots of things can go out of balance. I had one guy I remember came to me, and he loved playing golf. He wasn't all that old. He was planning to get married, but those plans have had to be put off because of his illness. And he told me in the last 12 months, he had lasted about 3 or 4 holes on a golf course about 3 times. And that was his pastime. He was a builder, and he was...
Yeah. Why then? Why?
Because he had to race off to the toilet all the time. He had chronic diarrhoea, and on the building site he was always cramped up in those smelly little portable loos rather than on the building site. So he came to me, someone had referred him, and he came to me, and yeah, things were totally out of whack. But a couple of weeks later he came back to me. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks later he came back, and he had been able to play a full round of 18 holes of golf. And he was...
Without racing to the toilet.
Without having to race off to the toilet. And he was also... could spend a full 8 hours on the job. So he was feeling much happier. His wedding plans were back on track. And so his fiancée was feeling happy, he was happy, and his boss was happy, everyone was happy. It affects the whole... It affects your relationships, it affects everything.
Okay, because Peter's testing also saved our marriage, can I say that? Well, not really, but nearly.
Well, it did, because I used to suffer with really bad, dark moods.
Grumpy, yes!
Bouts of depression, and when I got my digestion working properly, it turned my life around. And I didn't realise that it was my gut that was the problem. I thought it was up here. Or I used to blame Grana, which didn't help our relationship. But after I got my digestion working properly, I was getting the energy and the nutrients that my brain needed.
I just want to butt in. Peter, the kids and I, and we've got 6 kids, we knew that it was Peter really. But we just let him believe that it was us.
But things triggered me very easily.
But thankfully, this is like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's years ago now.
So Peter's had 20 years to absolutely make up for it. And his kids and grandchildren love him to bits, which is awesome.
And our brain takes 25% of our energy. So by giving it a nice, even energy source is really important for good mental health.
That's right.
And yeah, you don't have to suffer with belly aches and sitting on the loo too long and depression and bad moods and whatever. So
and everyone is unique, isn't it? So like
everyone is unique.
Some people, it's not always your liver, for instance. Like some naturopaths, you go to naturopath and they always say liver, everything is your liver. Well, sometimes it's not your liver at all. Sometimes you can be too alkaline. Like people will say, are you too acidic? Well, some people, different parts of their body are actually too alkaline. I was, parts of my digestion were too alkaline they weren't acidic enough.
When we went to Chicago, Rhoda and I had been living in the same house, having the same diet, and yet in a few of the tests we did, we were total opposites.
Yeah, we were always opposite.
We were stuck in the opposite imbalance. And that's such a good thing about this testing, because I don't want to give people just
a blanket something around.
Just something off the shelf. I want to give it that's something that's specific to boost or get you back into balance.
And anyway, Peter's clients know that because they totally trust him, because he's so diligent and full of integrity. I do want to say that you can see that anyway. So, can I just talk about myself? I love talking about myself. No, not really. But while we were in Chicago, it was 2009, 3 years after my accident, which had left my bowels paralyzed partly, and I had to have a colostomy bag. But just before we went to Chicago, I was brave enough to have the colostomy bag reversed because I thought, and I bluffed my way through a bit as well, like fake it till you make it. I thought my bowels were actually working again. But what happened was the action of the plane, being high up in the plane and anxiety and all the rest, put me into a life-threatening situation in Chicago, and I nearly died from a fatal, almost fatal bowel blockage. So we only had 10 days there to study the whole thing, because we had the kids at home and the business, we didn't want to be away. And so, of course, it was most inconvenient to be nearly dying again. And like, I was so incredibly sick and full of pain and unwell, and was really acute.
30 hours away from home.
I was so I had to be in hospital in Chicago, and the doctor said, well, just change your flights, you won't be out of here for a while, and I'll probably need an operation and all the rest. But thankfully, because we just done all the testing and I knew what supplements I needed for me, for my specific body, as soon as I could swallow a little bit, I was taking the supplements, and this was after the bowel blockage, resolved itself. And I was able to fly home 3 days later, which was absolutely amazing, because it was a 36-hour flight or whatever. And I made it in one piece. And so I do really credit the biomedics. That's the testing, which you've heard of, I'm sure, but we call it full health analysis. I credit that. And then Peter was able to just continually keep an eye on me and testing me, so that we can always adjust if anything goes wrong, right? And by the way, part of this testing is the live blood analysis. So lots of people love having their blood analyzed. And even if you're one of our regular clients and you've been to us in the past and you've had a look at your blood, it's probably high time to have another look at your blood. And that just entails a little drop from your finger, that's all. And we look at it under the microscope together with you, which is really, really fascinating. And we also look at dried blood. So we do some other tests that most people don't do. So
just to get back to that guy that I was telling you about, there were 3 specific things that got his digestion working properly. There was enzymes, probiotics, and beet flow. That got his digestion turned around in 2 to 3 weeks. And I've had numerous stories with people coming back to me in 3 to 4 weeks, and things have turned around, and they have had difficulty finding answers to their problem.
Because even adrenal fatigue, we hear that's another blanket term. But why your adrenals always fatigued, that's not normal, right? So there's something behind it, like
because they love minerals and trace minerals and good digestion.
And other things, so your adrenals are not getting what they need from your food, and it's always pretty much your digestion that's blocking, that's actually causing the kink in the cable. And Peter usually finds that out. So, and people with allergies, this is another amazing thing. They often can start eating many things that they have. Actually, you're one of those.
Yeah, well, that's...
Do you want to say that?
Well, I almost died as an infant due to food allergies, and then in my teens I developed more allergies. Fish was one,
and you caught anaphylactic shock nearly.
And it was. I found it difficult going out for meals because I didn't know you don't know what's in them, but it's turned my life around.
Yeah, you can eat anything now,
particularly, but
Peter can eat more than I do in many ways.
And I've since 2009 I've been taking enzymes and beet flow and probiotics and fermented foods pretty well every day, and I'm worth it.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah,
and I'm worth it too.
Yeah,
because I have a happy
life is worth it. We've only got one go at it, so we need to make it the best life we can have.
Have you heard of the new saying, happy hubby, happy wife? It's true, because I just said it. Makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Happy hubby, happy kids. happy hubby, happy grandkids, happy pets, happy garden, happy everything, because your energy goes into your surroundings. And guys often don't realize, even if they're quiet or, you don't have to be aggressive or anything, but men, their energy is so powerful, so strong. Even if they're not verbalizing it, but it's coming out of their body and it has an effect on everything. So it's really important, if you're a guy and you're watching this, that you're in alignment, because you do have a big influence. You have a huge influence on your surroundings. And so it's important that your cells are humming away happily, so that your influence is also a happy influence and you're leaving a good, positive legacy behind. So, is there anything else you wanted to say? I think we're 20 minutes are nearly up, probably.
That's probably long enough. There's heaps we could share with you, with other stories of lots of clients. But get your digestion working properly, and it makes
and don't give up on yourself.
A lot of difference to a lot of areas. But
Pete and I are sitting here because we didn't give up on ourselves, right? Pete didn't give up. I didn't give up on Peter. I didn't give up on myself when I was reduced to roadkill, basically. And Peter didn't give up on me. Like, just stop giving up type of thoughts. Just invest in yourself and you're so worth it. Just never give up.
We're aimed at healing. We're aimed at health. So give your body the things it needs and it will do the healing.
Because your body has a perfect blueprint for perfect health, and it's always working from that blueprint.
So trust your body, but give it what it needs.
And then you can have lots of energy, jump out of bed, feel younger every day, have lots of fun, invest in yourself, like put money away for holidays, and you can look forward to it and have adventures, and it's just really awesome, by making sure that your cells are humming away properly.
Yep.
So if this is something, that really resonates with you, and you feel like, oh, this is me, or I really want to get Peter to have a look at me, book in. Now, how can I say that? I'll put our phone number in the link, or you can send us a personal message or send us an email. We're open every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. What else? Yeah, just shoot us a personal message anyway on Facebook.
47 Wilmot Road in Forth.
And also, if you have more questions, we're here to answer your questions all Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. If you want your questions answered before then, just send us an email. Emails are always good because, they... it's easy for us. We check our emails pretty much every day. And so then we have all your details and all the rest as well.
We can get back to you when we're not busy.
And it's also like more private, I guess, isn't it? Huh? Yeah. So I'll put my email in the link below as well. And if you have any concerns or questions, or you're curious, or you feel like you need a tune-up or an adjustment, reach out to us like that. And we'll be there to give you a great start for next year, 2021. Thanks for
after funny 2020.
Yeah, after an awesome, amazing 2020.
Yeah.
Because we're much, much bigger than our circumstances. So that's a good finishing message. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, have a good week.
In. Look forward to hearing from you, and see you next Thursday night.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you then.